Welcome to ISMA. ISMA is G3's proprietary workload management software. In this video, we are going to introduce how to successfully complete a pre-audit so that you can become one of G3's factories. As you can see from the illustration, the process contains Factory Quality Assessment, or FQA, Pre-Audit, Factory Evaluation, Corrective Action Plan, and Factory Rating. Factory Quality Assessment is the key. If a factory wishes to become an authorized factory of G3, then the first thing that a vendor needs to do is send a request for a Factory Quality Assessment. G3 will arrange quality control managers to do the FQA. Pre-audits are automatically created when FQAs are accepted. Once pre-audits have been accepted, the G3 compliance team will schedule a factory evaluation. Once the compliance team has completed an on-site evaluation, the vendor will get a provisional rating. Then, the Corrective Action Plan stage, the CAP. When vendors complete and submit the CAP and the CAP has been reviewed by G3, G3 will give the final factory rating. Now let's focus on the pre-audit steps. Log in by using your username and password. Click Vendor Portal. Next, at the navigation bar, click Compliance. Then click Pre-Audits. This is the Pre-Audits page, and you can check the pre-audit in progress, submitted to G3, overdue, in progress, and completed. Click Start a Pre-Audit to begin the pre-audit process. Choose the factory for which you will be doing the pre-audit. Select the language. Click Start. There are many sections here at the pre-audit page. Please review and agree to all the policies and answer all of the questions truthfully. This is very important. Please note that all of the questions in the pre-audit are the same as those that will be asked later in the factory evaluation. Also, the documents uploaded during the document checklist stage are automatically uploaded to the audit activity history as part of the formal record. This is the Welcome section in Pre-Audit. Click Agree and Start to process. The G3 Contact Information section. Click Agree and Next to process. The Pre-Audit Process Overview section. This is a directory of the entire pre-audit procedure. The G3 audit procedure explains the entire procedure of an audit. Stage 1. Begin factory quality assessment with the senior G3 quality control representative. Stage 2. Pre-audits are automatically created when FQAs are accepted. Vendors should complete and submit pre-audits on the vendor portal. Afterwards, G3 will review the pre-audit on the compliance website. Stage 3. G3 will schedule a date for factory evaluation on the compliance website after the pre-audit has been accepted. Auditors will complete on-site factory evaluations with ISMA for Auditors application. The auditor will assign provisional factory ratings. Stage 4. The system will automatically create a Corrective Action Plan, or CAP. If the provisional factory rating is CAP required, vendor needs to complete and submit a CAP on the vendor portal. G3 will review the CAP. Stage 5 is the final stage, and G3 will assign a final factory rating. After you have read all of the content, please tick the box I have read, understand, and accept G3 policy. Then click Agree and Next to continue. In the Penalty section, you will see all the detailed G3 penalty policies. After reading them, click the box "I have read, understand, and accept G3 policy." Click Agree and Next. At the Audit Rating section, you can see all 4 audit ratings. Please tick the box "I have read, understand, and accept G3 policy." Click Agree and Next to process. You will need to enter correctly your factory information in the boxes provided. In the Product Information section, you need to provide the Factory Production Index, the product type, etc. The Factory Capacity and Capability section is a factory index and the nature of the factory information. Then click Agree and Next to continue. This is the Vendor Code of Conduct. Please read all of this information carefully. Once you have done so, click "I have read, understand, and accept G3 policy." This is the box at the bottom of the page. Then click Agree and Next to continue. You now need to provide your documentation for the pre-audit procedure. Click Upload to upload your documents. Click Missing, Not Available, No or Yes, as pertains to the situation. As mentioned previously, the documents you are providing in the document checklist here will automatically upload to the audit activity history as part of the formal record. Therefore, be sure you select correctly the documents in question. Then click Save and continue to process. Emergency exits. Here you need to answer correctly all of the questions about the emergency exits, the spacing of the aisles, and the marked escape routes. Please answer these questions honestly. When you're finished, click Save and continue. There are 12 questions here at the Installation section. Is your factory's electrical wiring fastened safely? Is the main switch and our sub-switches and electrical panels, distribution boards and circuit breakers in good condition, etc.? Be sure to answer all of these questions correctly and honestly. You will need also to answer questions here regarding firefighting equipment. Does your factory have at least one working fire extinguisher per 1,000 square feet and/or one working fire extinguisher per 75 operators? Is all fire equipment regularly checked to ensure it is in good working condition, etc.? Please answer all of the questions specifically and honestly. Click Save and continue to process. Does your factory have fire brigade and drill systems? If so, is your fire brigade at least 2% of staff, and do they have qualifications or certificates? Does the factory conduct fire drills at least twice per year? And so on. You will need to provide specific answers to these questions here. Click Save and continue to process. Does your factory have a certificate issued by the local fire department? Does your factory conduct regular checks, fire safety reviews, or reports? Does the factory have a health, safety, and environment committee? Does the factory have an emergency or disaster recovery plan? Does the factory have final valid acceptance reports or certificates for the completion of building construction? Please provide your answers in this section. Click Save and continue to process. How the workers working in your factory are paid will also need to be explained here. Be sure to provide accurate and truthful information about the payment method. What benefits do your workers receive? Are they allowed to join a worker organization or union? Have they signed employment contracts? Do pregnant employees receive statutory maternity benefits, etc.? Please answer all these questions here in the Benefits section. Once you have done so, click Save and Continue. What is the average working time for employees at your facility? What are the regulations regarding overtime? Everything pertaining to work time needs to be answered in this section here. Does your factory obey local laws and legal requirements? Answer honestly and accurately all of the questions here in the legal section. Next, answer all the questions in the factory safety section. Is worker safety education or training offered to all workers? Are the production machines functioning correctly? And are the workers who are operating these machines well protected? Do all production machines have evidence of regular maintenance? Does the factory have at least 2% of the workforce or 2 workers trained in CPR or first aid? Click Save and continue to process. Do all the electric switch boxes and electrical points have rubber safety mats beneath them? How is electrical safety at your facility? Answer the questions accurately and honestly, then click Save and continue. Does the factory provide a dormitory for factory staff? What is your factory performance history? Has the G3 Apparel Group used this manufacturer before? Does the factory use subcontractors for all or any part of the manufacturing process? How are the working conditions in the factory? Is the factory's temperature comfortable? Is the factory lighting acceptable? Are there sufficient numbers of toilet facilities? Is access to the restroom available at all times? Is the factory noise level acceptable? Is there a medical clinic in the factory? Proceed by clicking Save and Continue. Does the factory have a canteen? What is the factory access policy? Is the facility enclosed within a secure fence with a locked gate? Are visitors required to show photo identification before being admitted to the facility? Once you have answered these questions, click Save and Continue. What is the personnel security situation at the factory? Does the company conduct employment screening of prospective employees? Do the security guards receive a background check and training prior to appointment? Are the security guards on duty 24/7? Click Save and Continue to process. What is the security policy of the factory? Is the factory equipped with closed-circuit television security system? Does the facility have a written security policy? Is there a security awareness program for employees? Answer all of these questions under Security Processes. Click Save and Continue. Complete the Storage and Distribution section here. All of the information is related to storage, containers, and the loading procedure. Answer questions to these items in this section. Is the loading dock restricted to authorized employees only? Is the shipping dock, loading dock, and cargo area monitored and secured? Are the containers being loaded under supervision? Are the seals on inbound and outbound containers checked to make sure they match shipping documents? And so on. Does the factory use a computer system to process and store data? How is the IT security at the factory? Does the factory have policies to determine which employees are authorized to access its IT system? How would you measure the IT security policy of the factory? Quality management system. What is the quality management system at the factory? Does the factory comply with all relevant national, international, and customer quality standards? Does the factory provide a dedicated inspection area, separate from production, with adequate light and a table, etc.? What is the incoming materials control at the factory? Has the factory taken adequate measures to assure that the raw materials conform to required specifications? Does the factory adequately label, store, and track incoming raw materials? Does the factory have a documented supplier section and approval process? And so on. Answer all of these questions correctly and honestly. Then click Save and Continue. This is the last section of the pre-audit. All of the questions here must be answered. What is the process and production control policy? Does the factory have document quality control procedures at all stages of operation? Does the factory routinely review the top of production sample against the approved sample? Is the factory's quality control team familiar with AQL to a high enough level to meet G3's requirements? Click Save and Continue to process. Return to the Pre-Audits page. Click Submit if you confirm that all of the questions have been answered. We highly recommend that you review your answers once before clicking Submit. This is because once you have clicked Confirm, the pre-audit will be sent to the G3 compliance teams for review. Once you have double-checked your information, click Confirm to submit. The pre-audit can be viewed at the Submitted to G3 section. The next stage will be waiting for your factory evaluation. Thank you for taking time to watch this tutorial video. As mentioned at the very beginning of this video, this is only the second stage of how to become a factory at G3. Following this, there are still a few more stages to go before becoming a factory at G3. This is ISMA. A stitch in time is a penny earned.